Hello everybody! I've been out of work for about a month and a half already, and with my sudden free time, I've decided to make an English version of the entire Mozart Rock musical, or Mozart the Rock Opera. It's a French musical that stopped playing on stage like 10 years ago, but I love it and I thought it'd be a fun challenge since my the creative side of my brain is slowly dying. I've finished writing about 6 of the 20 songs so far, and we'll start recording probably next week, but it'll be at least a month or two long process. I just thought some of you might find it interesting to see at least how I go about doing the translations. Probably obvious I'm a native English speaker. I do speak French, which makes this a lot easier. But I think everyone has their own process, and I thought it might be fun to kind of walk you through what I'm doing. I'm working on Penser l'impossible right now, which is Think the Impossible. It's one of the first songs from the musical. As you can see, I'm working over here. So this is Penser l'impossible. What I do is I split it into 3 columns. I have the original lyrics right here on the left. The middle is a more or less direct translation of the song, so it's kind of just for my reference. Some of it's not entirely accurate because I just copied the English version off of the internet, but I also know enough where if I think something's not quite right, I can just check it. And then over here is what I have so far. It's not like you can just translate it and it'll be fine. Like, songs have rhyming structure and some expressions or ideas don't really make sense or don't translate well from one language to the other. So the main thing is it needs to sound good, first of all. I try to be faithful to the rhyming structure, but it's more important to be faithful to the feel of the song and the overall meaning versus being picky about specific words or details. Penser l'impossible is an interesting challenge because not only is the language very literary, it's very fast and there's a lot of syllables to the point where a lot of the words mesh together, and so certain things like this line, oser l'utopie jusqu'au bout, is like to dare for utopia until the end. Like, I can't fit with a direct translation, I couldn't fit that many syllables in English into one line. And I actually needed that line to feed into the last idea. So here it's a seuls les fous nous ont fait avancer. Only madmen, or like only lunatics, make us advance. And the whole idea of the song is kind of having to be dependent on the whims of rulers to be successful. So I translated it as that madman named the price of our fate, but obviously that isn't a full sentence. You can't just say that madman named the price of our fate. So I needed to use this line, the third line for the chorus, to feed into that idea. And you can see it's in italics here. I put stuff in italics if that's the idea I want, but it's not finished because it's not the right number of syllables and it feels kind of clunky. One of my main goals when I'm doing something like this is it shouldn't sound like a translation. And at least to me, since it's my native language, English can get really kind of clunky feeling, and I don't want it to feel like that, especially since it's coming from French. It should kind of flow better. Like, even this first line, so Penser l'impossible avant tout, which is think of the impossible first, I put it as tempted by a dangerous dream. I'm still not sure how I feel about it, because tempted by a dangerous dream, like, I don't know. It sounds a little forced to me still, but I might keep it. I like Songbird in a Gilded Cage, so that's going to stay the same. I do need to figure out this line, so I don't know what else it seems. This line's still a little clunky, so I'll probably change it later, but it works as a placeholder. So, tempted by a dangerous dream, Songbird in a gilded cage. Why did no one tell us it seems that madmen name the price of our fate? Yeah, so that's, you know, still a little, you know, it's not super pretty yet, but it'll work for the meantime. So here we have encore. It starts the same as the first line, so I can use again or I can use and still. Because here, toujours means always, and that's one of those things where even though always has the same number of syllables as toujours, I didn't want to use it because of the stress. As French doesn't have super strong syllabic stress, where English does. And so when you say toujours, even though I could say always, I don't like it because it's not always, it's always. So even though it's one of those things where I could fit it in, it wouldn't sound natural. And since I want it to sound like a naturally flowing English song, I changed it to and still. So let's start with fall on your knees. And it's one of those things where I can always change it later. The nice thing about having the echo is if I can't quite complete a thought in English, I can finish it in the echo. Like up here, I really love this line where he's like, they've become deaf. Like the guardians of their tower, they've become deaf. But the thing is, deaf is a really inelegant word with English, and there also aren't a lot of things that rhyme with deaf. So it wasn't really a good fit for his lines, but because of the echo, I could bring in an English expression, which is falling on deaf ears. So while he's saying, you know, we scream out our appeal to the Titans concealed, and it falls on deaf ears. So I was able to finish out that thought, even though it didn't fit with his words. And still fall on your knees. So let's figure out the rhyme structure real fast. So encore, corps, no, that's still A. So that's A. And then hers are à genoux, we'll call that C. Corde à nos coups, so that's C. Privilège, so B. So it's, she kind of has her own rhyme, and then it reflects his fourth line. Interesting. So we got A. And still fall on your knees. I might change it back to again, but there's a lot more rhymes with still than again, so it also just makes my life easier. So this is where you go in, since none of this stuff really sounds right in English, and just figure out the overall, what is this saying? So still, you know, you could say it like we're trapped and they're even like taking our soul. I don't want to use carnivore though, but because carnivore sounds a little bit too scientific, but predators works. That doesn't rhyme with, so that's the last line here. And predators won't rhyme with and still. So I might have to play around with that a little bit. And you know, I also have the option of just ignoring the rhyme structure and it's fine. But I'd like to keep to it if I can. Let's see here, sir. I could say and sure, but that sounds a little meh. Actually, because Monsieur actually I think rhymes with censor as well. So let me add that in as an idea. Well, since this is a little bit more of a slant rhyme, because Sir, sure, and tour from Predator, or der from Predator, aren't exact rhymes, but they're close enough. Because I like to play around with slant rhymes. I also think it's a little bit more mature sounding, because if you make stuff super matchy-matchy, it can sound a little bit childish sometimes, in my opinion. Monsieur, all the years of censure. Let's see if there's another word for like noose. Trap, lasso, snare. Ooh, snare is good. Tie, hitch, lariat. I was ensnared in a... I might continue this to the next line. So the soul's ensnared in a pure privilege. Soul's ensnared for, not for the, I want to say it like for the sake of. Soul's ensnared for privilege. I want to make the idea of being consumed. It's too long, but it's like souls ensnared for the pure privilege of being consumed by predators. That'll work. Choking, strangling on please. So, fall on your knees all the years of the strangling. Oh, please, souls ensnared for the privilege. I want a word for, ooh, it could be good to do like a antonym of pure. Where so he's saying for the pure privilege and then she's echoing the thought with like it's dirty or hypocritical. Let's see here. Ooh, dishonest might work. Dishonest. Okay. Monsieur, all the years of censure, souls ensnared for the pure privilege by predators. And she's saying, fall on your knees, strangling her, please. Dishonest. I need to think about this for a second. Oh, because consume doesn't work though, right? Let me see. So it's CCBB is hers. So what? Let's go for rhymes for dishonest. Because I want it to be something like being consumed or like it's, you know, you're paying for the price of your privilege of like your creativity and everything being consumed by the predators or the carnivores. Because this actually still works because it's still ensnared by predators. But it could be cool if you have two ideas at the same time. So he's saying like our souls are ensnared by predators, and she's like we're being consumed by predators. Could be a good moment, you know. But these do take a while. Like yesterday, I did Le Troublion and Six Pieds Sous Terre, and that took me all day. So it was like 10 or 12 hours of work. It doesn't feel like work though. Actually, she might be able to say privileged predators. Well, he says something else. The souls ensnared for the pure. Oh, sacrilege. Let me double check I know what that means. Ooh. Souls ensnared for the pure sacrilege. So I'll probably play around with this more later, but that's about how long it takes me to do a couple lines. Let's see what that sounds like for that part that we just worked on. Monsieur, on your knees, all the years of strangling up, please. Souls ensnared for the pure dishonest sacrilege privilege of our grand predators. And I hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit about my process in this. I don't know how many people would actually be interested in this kind of thing, and especially since the musical is like a decade old at this point, and French and never really got popular in the English-speaking world, but it could be a fun way for other people to discover, you know, their love of it like I did. So, goodbye!